Hello, it's me, Sunumaya Pakrin. Welcome to this class. Today we are going to learn about the sense organs, and we have learned about the sense organs in previous classes too, like about the ear and the eye we have learned in previous class. Now we have learned about the sense organs. We know that the sense organs are the organs that connects the human body with the external world. Now in this class today we are going to study about the nose, tongue and skin one by one. Now the nose. Nose is a sense organ for smelling the things, and it also helps in breathing. It is also one of the respiratory organ. It is present in all the animals, and comparatively human nose is less sensitive than the other animals, and it is divided into two parts, that is external parts and the internal parts. External parts, it consists of two bones, that is maxilla. Maxilla means that is the bone of upper jaw, and upwardly it is connected with the frontal bone, that is the bone of forehead. Now the internal part, it is also known as the nasal cavity. It is very sensitive for smelling the things, and it is richly supplied with the blood vessels and olfactory neurons like nerve bundles, olfactory bulb, olfactory nerves. These are the nerve bundles, and this region, it is also known as the olfactory region. The upper region consists of the receptor cells to smell the things, and the lower parts of these cells are connected with the olfactory region or the nerve bundles. When we smell the things, the receptor cells stimulate, and the stimulation is carried to the brain by the olfactory nerves. So in this way we can detect the smell of different substances. The process is known as olfaction. Now sometimes when we suffer from common cold, we do not get the proper taste, and even we do not get the proper smell. It is why? It is because when we suffer from common cold, the mucous membrane of our nose swells. The mucous membrane of our nose swells, due to which the smell does not reach inside the olfactory nerves, because these olfactory nerves helps to carry the smell to the brain. But when we are suffering from common cold, that the smell do not reach up to the olfactory nerve, and that's why we cannot detect the smell properly. Also the taste of the food also is also not detected properly. That's why we do not get the taste of the food when we are suffering from common cold. And there are also small hairs inside the nose, and because of this hair, when we take the air for during breathing, that here it traps the dust particles, and also it makes the air hot, and then it is passed towards the lung, that it helps in respiration. Now the next one is the care and hygiene of nose. How can we take care of our nose? To remove the mucus, we should not blow the nose so strongly. If we blow our nose strongly, that it may damage our ears. And when we are sneezing, we should use the handkerchief, or we should cover our cover during sneezing, that is spray, that helps to check the spreading of the virus. And we should not put fingers in our nostril, and even we should not put any hard materials to clean our nose. And we should use the masks properly, so that the dust particles that do not get enter into our nose, and even we can protect ourselves from different kinds of diseases and virus. And if there is any problems in our nose, we should consult the doctors. Now the tongue. Tongue is a muscular and very important organ of digestive system, that it also helps in the digestive system, and it is connected to the higher bone at the base, and at its lower part it is connected with the mouth, floor of the mouth, and upper part of the tongue, it is supplied with the different dotted like structure we can see in our tongue, which is rough, it is known as papillae. And all these papillae contains the cells, receptor cells of the taste. The taste of the food is detected by these receptor cells. The taste bud present in the papillae are supplied with the nerves, and papillae are of different types of papillae are found, like fungiform papillae, circumvallate papillae, filiform papillae, foliate papillae, and so on. Different types of papillae are found, and all these papillae that gives the sense of taste, and we get the different types of taste of the food. Now the physiology of the tongue, or how can we get the taste of the food that we eat. There are mainly the 4 tastes, that is sweet, salt, sour, and bitter taste. All these tastes in combination, then we can get the taste of other food, or other taste are the combination of all these 4 tastes. The chemical substance dissolve in the saliva, and the dissolved chemical substances stimulate taste receptors, and later on the nerve fibers, they carry the taste sensation to the brain. Then we can get the taste of different substances. Like the sweet taste, it is present at the tip of the tongue, and the bitter taste, it is present at the base of the tongue. We have experienced ourselves that the sweet taste of some substances is detected faster than the bitter taste. We get the bitter taste of the substance after swallowing thing. It is why? It is because that the sweet taste receptors are present at the tip of the tongue, but the bitter taste receptors are present at the base of the tongue. That's why sweet taste is detected faster than the bitter taste. The tongue, it has sensory function, that is the giving the taste like salt, sweet, sour, bitter taste. These are the sensory function of the tongue that gives the sensation. And it also has got the motor function, that is like it helps in chewing the food, it helps to swallow the food, and to produce the sound we use our tongue. Now how can we take care of the tongue? Sometimes the rashes are seen on the tongue due to deficiency of vitamin B. That's why we should consume the fruits that contains the vitamin B, or if vitamin B it is a deficiency, then if the rashes are seen, then we can take the vitamin B complex tablets too. When we are brushing our teeth, we should clean our tongue also, and we should avoid or reduce the use of very hot liquids like hot drinks, coffee, tea, very hot drinks, because it may burn our tongue and we cannot get the proper taste of the food. And if there is any injuries or the wound on the tongue, then we should consult the doctor. Skin covers the different parts of the body and with a different thickness and it consists of different layers, the outer part and the inner parts. Its outer part is not supplied with the blood vessels, and its inner part is supplied with the blood vessels and nerves, and different kinds of glands like sweat gland, sebaceous gland are present inside the inner part. And skin has different functions. It gives a different sense, like it gives the sensation of heat, cold, roughness, soft, pain, pressure, different kinds of sense that we get because of the skin. And it also protects our body from the external environment. Now, the structure of the skin, just now I have told you before also, skin, the outermost layer of the skin, it is known as epidermis. The second layer, it is known as dermis, and the third layer, it is known as hypodermis. The epidermis, it is the first layer of the skin, or the outermost layer, and it is stratified epithelium tissue where the blood vessels are not found. It is not supplied with the blood vessels, and from the small fine tiny pores from the epidermis, the sweat comes out from here. And the next one is the dermis, the second layer, which is supplied with the blood vessels, and the nerves, the cells are nerve fibers are present, and the different kinds of glands like the sweat glands and the sebaceous gland are present in this layer. Now the third layer is the hypodermis. It is also supplied with the blood vessels and the nerves, different kinds of nerve fibers. And this layer, just below this, at the base of this layer, it contains a fat which keeps our body warm. It maintains the temperature of the body. It is also known as the subcutaneous fat. That is the fat present at the base of the hypodermis. It is known as the subcutaneous fat, and it maintains the temperature of the body. Now, next one is how can we take care of our skin? Taking bath timely, so that we can keep our skin clean, and we should use mosquito net at the time of sleeping to keep ourselves away from the mosquito bite. And we should take the food that contains vitamin A, because the vitamin A is also known as the beauty vitamin, and because of which if we take such kind of food, it makes our skin shiny and beautiful. That's why it is advised to take the food that contains vitamin A. And we should not use the cosmetics more and more, because these cosmetics are all chemicals, and because of the continuous and more use of the cosmetics, it may damage our skin. That's why we should not use the cosmetics more. And if there is any problems or injuries related to skin, we should consult the doctor. These are the ways how we can take care of our skin. Now the things to remember, or the summary of this lesson. Now let's revise. That is, we know that sense organ. What is sense organ? The important organ of the body which connect us from external world are called the sense organ. Eye, nose, ear, tongue and skin are the sense organs of our body. The three layers of eyes are sclera, choroid and retina, and image is formed at the retina. The watery fluid present in between cornea and lens, it is known as aqueous humor. The space between the lens and the retina is filled with a thick jelly substance called vitreous humor. The middle ear consists of malleus, incus and stapes, which are also known as earocicles. Ear gives the sense of hearing and helps to balance body. The taste buds help to detect tastes like sour, salty, bitter, sweet, etc. When we smell things, the receptor cells stimulate, and the stimulation is sent to the brain by the olfactory nerves so that we can identify the smell. The touch receptors of the skin gives the sensation of heat, cold, rough, smooth, pain, etc. and protect the body from external environment. This is the summary of this lesson, the sense organ. Now the class response, answer these questions. We do not get the real taste of food when we suffer from common cold. Give reason. What are the different tastes of the tongue? A person cannot get proper taste when he is suffering from common cold. Why? What are the ways of taking care of nose? What are the ways of taking care of tongue? And what are the ways of taking care of skin? Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.